following program is rated MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
This week on the 5-Minute Warning.
Because that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. There was a lot of Jerry curls and house fires. That's all that was cool about the Falcons.
A lot of Jerry curls and house fires.
Yeah, MC Hammer was at the stadium. Deion Sanders was dripping. Andre Rison was getting his house burned down. I was just like, I'm done with this shit. Bo Jackson's cool. I'm gonna be a Raiders fan.
The show that gives you everything and nothing at all. That's everywhere you don't want to be. It's Ruben, Mo B, and on the ones and twos, AG.
The 5-Minute Warning.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the 5-Minute Warning. My name is not Ruben, but I'm going to pretend like I'm Ruben today. So it's just me and Mo B. What's up, Mo B? How you doing?
Hey man, I got here early just for y'all. I even hit the button to start the show like 3 or 4 times because apparently when it says, do you want to go live, and you hit yes, apparently it checks to confirm that you meant to say yes the first time.
Does it do it 3 times? Does it confirm it 3 times?
I literally clicked it 3 times, man. I'm trying to figure out, like, hey man, this is the problem with AI right now, man. Like, not only is AI taking over the world, it don't even trust us. It don't even trust us.
Well, you have to have a soul not to trust nobody.
Hey, look, maybe it's just done enough calculations to know we're untrustworthy in the logical sense. It ain't an emotion it's feeling. It's just be like, hey, we got statistics to prove that you humans sometimes be stupid.
Yeah, well, you know what? You're not wrong, because we were plenty stupid before AI, so.
Yeah.
Not wrong about that.
We were done for making it, to be honest. I mean, we were done for making it.
Man, look, Skynet. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, look, we can't be the only people that saw the Terminator movie, man. I can't be.
Well, I'm sure we weren't, but I think a lot of people didn't believe it. And actually, I brought that up at work the other day because we were talking about AI just like we are now. And I said, Skynet. He was like, no, man, no. Bruh, Skynet. He said, but computers can't make decisions. They ain't got a soul. I said, you're right about that. But they can make decisions. They can make decisions because there's somebody that is programming this, and they probably don't like you. They don't like me. So does it matter if it has a soul? Just saying, Skynet.
Hey, look, it's learning how to teach itself. That is not me saying, that is not hyperbole. We are creating AI to learn from itself.
Yes. What's up, Black Morticia Adams?
I mean, we literally about, I'd say 3 or 4 summers away from Skynet. That's really what it is.
You said a few summers away?
We're about 3 or 4 summers away from Skynet, man.
Why does it got to take over in the summertime, bro?
Look, man, in my head, I just imagine it being the summer when it take over. Like, I don't know why. I just feel like that's a summer thing.
I think you would put way too much thought into this, sir.
You're probably right.
To a season?
I mean, you probably right, man. Like, but here's the thing. Everybody says you crazy until the shit pop off.
That's true. True.
I mean, in all those apocalyptic shows, all the people who were like the best people to be with were the people who were like just a few months earlier you thought were fucking crazy.
You are not wrong. You are not wrong. I cannot disagree. Oh, speaking of the world ending, did you ever see that movie just came out on Paramount Plus? Or maybe it started in the theaters, but the Quiet Place, like the prequel to it?
The prequel? No, I have not.
Not bad. Not bad. Paramount Plus.
I just imagine like an event like the Quiet Place happening would completely destroy our culture. And I'm not trying to sound like completely sexist, but just in my experience, I just feel like the women would die so fast, we would not be able to procreate anymore. So it wouldn't even matter.
are you like? I don't disagree, but are you
And then how could you have kids? Because like I ain't never fucking heard a quiet baby before.
But they did that on the first two movies.
I know, but I was just amazed. I was just like, hey, ain't no way. Hey, boy, ain't no way. Hey, ain't no
Are you
way.
saying that women can't do that, sir?
No. I'm not saying they can't. I'm saying it would take a whole lot of them dying before they realized that they had to.
It's like you're trying to earn your sexist title all in one episode.
No. Here's the thing. There's a lot of dudes that would die too. I'm just saying, because there's we have a culture of people who really don't know how to shut the fuck up. I mean, so that's not so you're right. Maybe I shouldn't have just phrased it as women first, because we do have just a culture of people who, because there's gonna be that one idiot when you like doing the whole quiet somebody that's gonna be like, why? What's going on?
It's like you've seen the movie, but you haven't seen the movie. If you ever watch it, the first 20 minutes, you're gonna laugh at yourself, because that's exactly what happened.
Because I'm just saying, if there's some cataclysmic shit going on all around me, and somebody I know and trust is doing this, I ain't saying shit. I might give some gestures like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
is that what you're gonna do?
Hey, you gonna have to, you know what I'm saying? Write something down.
But I'm saying, okay, I'm not telling you anything by telling you the movie, but everything you're saying right now is so true. They was on the top of the roof. They've all figured out that all these creatures are working by sound, and everybody's peep quiet. So they on the roof, everything is cool, and this dude, this rando dude, happens to find his way up to the roof, and he starts saying the obvious, which isn't necessarily obvious, but it's obvious. We're all gonna die. And then, like you said, dude was like, and he just kept screaming and screaming. And finally, the dude had to choke him. He killed him right there on the street, on the roof.
Well, my wife has always said that I'd be terrible, because I've always watched them apocalyptic things and be like, sometimes you just gonna have to take somebody out. And I mean, I ain't trying to say I'm a cold-blooded killer. I'm just saying I'm a math person. So if I got to kill you for us to survive,
that'll happen.
I'm going to take, that's good math. You know what I'm saying? That's just good math.
Yes. One person for 50? Yeah, I'll take those numbers.
I mean, like I said, there's just going to be a whole bunch of people panicking. It's just like, when I see a group of people running away, I don't try to stop somebody and ask what we running for. I'm just running. Now, I might be talking as we're running. Like, hey, what we running for? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Where we going?
I mean, if I see panicked people running, I'm not going, hey, what's going on? No. Y'all panicked? I'm panicked.
Are you saying you can walk and chew gum, sir?
Hell yeah. And blow bubbles.
Well, sir, we have a show. It's a little different because Ruben's not here, but we still have a good show.
Rubenless.
So what now?
It's Rubenless.
Wow. It's Rubenless?
Yeah, it's Rubenless. I mean, look, man.
Like two pieces of rye bread and sauerkraut? That's it? No, it's Rubenless?
Yeah, it's Rubenless, man. And it's crazy, man, because, like, I feel like we need to do a dedication show to, like, Ruben's dedication. Not only just to the show, but, like, everything that Ruben is dedicated to, is dedicated to.
Uh-huh.
Now, what Ruben ain't dedicated to, he ain't dedicated to at all.
None.
But, like, when you travel as far as they travel to see a football game, and it didn't end the way you would like it to end. I mean, and when you were going there, you probably didn't think it was going to end the way you wanted to end at the beginning. And then it ain't like you picked a destination that, like, everybody wanted to go to. Like, you went to another country to see a game.
I knew it, because Lauren said the same thing.
You went to the International Republic of Florida, and then you see a game in Tampa Bay.
Hey, man.
I mean,
dedication.
That's dedication, man. Like, and then you miss the thing that you usually the most dedicated to, which is this show.
Yes.
Because, like, he doesn't want to quit this show ever.
He would have
But,
a 3-hour show if he could.
But hey, you know, I know the show fall on Christmas Day, but y'all want to do the show?
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Ruben is a slave driver. I mean, he ain't giving no benefits, no pay, no nothing. He's just trifling like that.
like, yeah, I know your kid about to be born, but are you gonna be on the show? Like,
Hey man, I know you had death in the family, but we doing that show afterwards, right?
yeah. I mean, yeah. Look, I know you just had surgery on your foot and you in the hospital and everything, but I mean, you can you can call in the show if you want to. Like, it's okay.
And folks, that actually happened. that literally happened. I still, yeah. So yes, Ruben is more dedicated to the show, so it makes him more dedicated to the Commanders. And he drove 10 hours. He and his brother drove 10 hours and they lost.
Is it 10? I thought it was 12. I think it's like 12 hours.
Yeah, you're probably right. Either way, it's more than I would have done.
And then he was like, yeah, you know, we'll split it up. So, you know, we'll only stop to get gas, eat. I'm like, yo, I've been on a long car ride before. You don't go straight through like that. Not unless you by yourself. If like I can do better on a road trip by myself than when I'm with somebody else. I feel like the temptation to stop and eat and relax is a little bit greater when you're with someone than when you're by yourself.
It is.
Because when I'm by myself, I can just hit the rest stop, hit the gas station, and I'm gone. Like I ain't thinking about nothing else. But you know, you put a passenger there that's got, you know, their own bladder and
their own bladder
and their own verbal requirements for you know, driving. And
wait a minute, verbal requirements don't really require you to stop though.
Yeah, sometimes it does for me, because like honestly, I can just get tired of listening, and sometimes I can just get tired of talking. I mean, and this is a knock on anyone. This is just like my own thing. Like I do better, and like I drive for work a lot. I'm in the car by myself a lot, and I can drive in complete silence with nothing on for 2-3 hours before I realize nothing's on. Because to me, that's like vacation. It's quiet. Ain't nobody saying nothing. I'm just cruising. But you know, you add an element of talking and back and forth and random what if questions.
I was gonna say, hey, can I ask you a question? How many of those do you get?
See, here's the thing. A lot of people might think that is like a dig on my significant other, but no, that's just a car trip thing. Like when you're in a car for a long period of time, trust me, a what if question will come up. It's almost unavoidable.
I mean, but you don't like those, man? They can pass the time,
look,
man.
Look, yes, sometimes they can pass the time, but sometimes they can be exhausting too, because that is when you truly learn the difference between you and the people you're talking to. And sometimes those differences can be exhausting. I'm just saying, like, you know, a lot of times you don't know, like, especially guys, we don't know, like, the political differences we have or like our outlook in life differences we have until we start having some of these what if questions. That's when you realize halfway, you be like, I don't even fucking know this guy, man. Like, who?
Wait a minute, you don't know somebody's in your car?
Yeah, it's like, hold on. Did this motherfucker just say Cheerios are better than Honey Grams? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just random shit that just irks me. Like, hold on, man. I thought I knew you. Like,
oh man, yeah. And no, Cheerios are not better. No, they're not.
No,
I tolerate Cheerios. My wife buys Cheerios and she always suckers me into it by saying they're heart healthy and then runs out of the room. Cheerios, yeah, no.
You know, can somebody tell me how Cheerios are heart healthy?
Or did somebody thinks they told you it was.
Exactly. Somebody just put that shit on the box, because when you really think about it, like most cereal just ain't healthy. Period.
No, not at all.
Especially when you talk about adding a cow's milk to it. Like that doesn't make it healthy in itself.
Hey man.
And then if you want to get fancy and talk about all these other replacement milks, I mean, cool.
You don't like soy milk and almond milk and all that?
Hold on. I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just saying just because we milk the nut does not make it 100% healthy. Like,
That sounds so bad. I'm 12 years old right now, y'all. I'm sorry. Just because you milked the nut. I can't. I'm so sorry.
I mean, just because we found the nipples on these almonds and found a way to milk them.
Why you gotta take it there, man? All right, y'all, we got a show. It's a little different, but we do have a show. So I frequent Instagram often because I didn't before. And this is one thing that I have to blame on my wife, my beautiful wife, because she spends a lot of time on Instagram. She sends me these things. And I wasn't on Instagram to the point where I didn't even know how to get this stuff. But like everybody else, you figure things out, you see a few funny things, and you get addicted. So you spend all this time on Instagram. Well, I was thinking the other day, I was like, you know what? We ought to have like a 5-minute warning, random Instagram reels. What do we think about this? So I thought about it, said, yeah, this is exactly what we're gonna do. So I have 5 random Instagram reels I thought that would start a conversation. You can say true or not true, but you always have to comment on it. So the first one, I'm gonna just play it. So you tell me what you think, yes or no.
At this rate, he's gonna call somebody a on national television because today, he took it one step, fuck a step. He took one leap further. I need y'all to listen to this shit, bro.
Byron said that place. Superstar of the future. He's already a superstar, but he's a superstar of the future. Byron Donalds, Florida. Wow, that's nice to have you here. That's good. He's great. He's great. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. That one is smart. You have smart ones and you have some that aren't quite so good. But we have a group of
Byron Donalds, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he's one of the smart ones. You have smart ones and you have ones that aren't quite so good. What the fuck? I need somebody to bet me right now. Over or under 2 weeks, he's dropping the N-bomb. The way the crowd was looking, bro, you could tell what they wanted to say. He could have introduced you any other way. But nah, hey y'all, I know y'all don't like Negroes, but he's the smart one. Like, get the fuck. And what did you do, Byron? You activated that coon chip and got on that stage, you fucking idiot. This is sad, bro. He just called you a good boy in front of everybody.
Okay, I'm gonna start this one because I just have to tell you, knowing you all these years now, when he said he activated that coon chip, I instantly thought about you, bro. I did. But after I finished talking about or laughing about that, I don't know if it's gonna happen in a few weeks, but I feel like him or someone is gonna be bold enough to say it. On national TV, unadulterated, just boom. What do you think?
I mean, Byron Donaldson is a first team step and fetch all-star.
Wait a minute. A first team step and fetch?
Yeah, a first team step and fetch all-star, man. Like, and you know, yeah, Coonan, yeah, the coon chip activated. But see, I don't believe that a coon chip can be activated just like that.
No, it's always there.
I think that you have to have just the right amount of self-esteem and lack of respect for yourself and just overall hatred for life to be able to be the skin complexion that he is and truly bend over for white people the way he does. Like, there is a special type of almost like respect I have for a hoe that'll just take it in the ass and is cool with you just putting half the money on the dresser and walking out. Like, cause that's essentially what
half
Trump
the money?
does. Yeah, not even paying you your full value.
And you knew what the rate was, but still half the money.
I mean, yeah, because here's the thing: all these step and fetch Republicans, the black ones anyway, the step and fetch black Republicans, all of them are hoping at one point in time that he might be that VP candidate. And not only did Trump insult him by picking the hillbilly, he picked the hillbilly in an interracial relationship. So these niggas was like, holy shit, we out here, we found our white queens, and you still chose this hillbilly ass nigga with the, what the fuck, man? Like,
I never even thought of that angle.
And they're like, what we did, we followed the Coon playbook to a T. And you still basically said, good job, nigga, but I'm gonna go with that guy. I'm gonna go with that less qualified dude over there that actually used to talk shit about me.
Yes.
Even though you've been sucking my dick since I met you, at the end of the day, I know you're gonna keep sucking my dick no matter what. This dude here, though, like, he is the future.
He's the future. With his Indian wife, he's the future.
I mean, yeah, so, yeah, there are few people that give me more of a vomit in my soul feeling than Byron Donaldson. Because when I see him, I just think there've got to be so many black ancestors that just look at you and just go, it couldn't have come to this.
Yeah.
There's no way we died for this nigga.
But, you know, based on history and the documentaries and movies that we've seen, hadn't Byron Donalds been around all the time?
There's always one. There's always one or two. And we're all ashamed of them.
But see, so would you say the difference is there is a definite and clear and present like platform that those type people have because of Trump?
Yeah, true. There definitely is a bigger platform for. You know, we got a whole bunch of what they call the grifters, as I was talking about a couple shows. There's a whole bunch of them. But I think the thing that makes it more disheartening is I feel like hundreds of years ago, I could have been like, as shameful as it is, you're trying to survive. And now I'm just like, it ain't gotta be like this. Like, there's no reason for you having to do this.
None.
Other than your own lack of respect and personal greed.
And so when you say that, you mean there's little chance you'll get hung, shot, whipped, whatever.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you still out here step and fetch it. You still.
I love that. Step and fetch.
You still out here chucking and jiving. You know what I'm saying? You and it's like, for what, man? Like, that's what makes it sadder. Like, you know, when we talk about Uncle Tom's, people who actually read the book, Uncle Tom is not the worst character ever. In fact, there's a lot of redeeming qualities about Uncle Tom's character that we just, obviously, we don't read, so we don't know, so we just automatically make it an insult.
Right.
But part of the thing is, Uncle Tom was in that era where, like I said, a brother was trying to survive. And in the book, Uncle Tom was helping other slaves survive. Byron Donaldson ain't got to do this. Like, he's just doing this because he thinks he's being accepted. And that's the thing. Trying to be accepted and trying to survive, two different fucking things. This dude has just made a choice that I'm going to try to be accepted by these people that don't like me. And I'm going to take all the money and the gifts and the bribery that comes with this at the expense of everyone who looks like me and actually has respect for themselves. And that's why I get so bothered by it.
Do you think that there's part of him where his soul is rotting away? Or do you think that he just like believes this 100% true story?
I used to think that these people were like hurting on the inside. Like they hated doing this. But now, I think they've truly convinced themselves that working with the devil is different than working for the devil, when the truth of the matter is you're still in hell. What I mean is, I feel like they think they're making a choice.
No, I understand exactly what you mean. Yeah.
And it's like, no, bro, there's no such thing as working with.
Nope.
You're always working for. Just because you feel like you have a position of power, you don't. You still a slave. You're still working for. There's no ranking system in hell.
Everybody's there, ain't no special place, because hell is the special place. So I get that. All right, number 2.
You are not going to tell me that the only thing a man gets from a woman is nasty sex.
How am I not going to tell you that? So you tell me what a man feel he get. No, since you know what a man feel a man get, tell me what a man feels he get. Tell me.
I love that y'all making the point.
Tell me what a man feels he get, Azar.
I'm not a man, so I'm not going to speak for a man.
I'm up out of here.
Bye.
You just spoke for a man.
Bye.
You just sat here for 20 minutes telling me how a man feel what he get. That's all we get.
Aww.
That's not true.
No, listen.
He's telling you.
Exactly. And this is why y'all don't want to care what the fuck a man wants.
I care.
She ain't even listening.
Say it, friend. I care.
All we get is sex.
That's your reward.
Let me put that in context.
Yeah, it's your reward. Yeah.
You are not about to buy not one man a motherfucking house. You're not about to buy one man a motherfucking car. You don't got to go bust your ass to buy a car, a house, pay a mortgage.
So is a kid not getting something?
Oh,
is
wow.
me caring?
It's already been stamped. You're supposed to be the what? Provider. We have the pressure. I have to figure out how to buy this house, build this house, get this house. The Rock, 10 times the salary for the ring. We have to do all these things.
So, if you didn't hear the beginning because it was a little hard to hear, she's saying that what the thing is like men only get sex and women get everything else. Oh, so now that I put that out there to make sure people heard in the beginning, what do you think of that?
I mean, I was just gone when he was like, you gonna tell me as a woman what a man gets. Like, you tell me how a man feels. Go ahead. Tell me how I feel.
I ain't gonna speak for no man. I ain't no man.
But you just did. As you said, you just spent like 20 minutes speaking for us.
That's right.
And here's the thing, as a man, I don't feel like I speak for men. I speak for myself as a man. I can't speak for you, AG, nor will I try to. But when she said, we give you a kid, what? What?
He said, what?
My reward for buying you all this shit is you give me another thing that I have to financially support. That's the gift.
Yes.
Like, now don't get me wrong. The kid is a gift, but in the context in which she framed it, that you gave it to me, like you did that shit all by yourself, bitch. Like,
so you from you.
Yeah, you basically just said, you know what? You've been so good. I'm pregnant. You've been so good to me that I'm pregnant.
So she's just like, I'm pregnant. Oh my God.
And I mean, as a guy, to hear somebody say the only reward we get from women is sex. I mean, in the shallowest and the simplest form of like give and take, that ain't that far off. It ain't that far off.
Actually, I mean, based on the context, I completely agree because, for me, and I said it on the show before, there's not a woman walking that has to do anything for you. They don't have a requirement so they can be worthy of marrying you. That's all on us. Now, some like me, I got off easy. But by and large, in the world, you are expected to do certain things and have certain things in order so you will be worthy to have, not a nice woman or a kind woman or a pretty woman, any woman. So it's like, when you break it down like that, we get to break it down like this too. It's just like, well, if that's what I have to do, what am I going to get? Sex. Well, the thing I will add to that is the fact that we don't get sex all the time, because y'all still can say no, because again, you don't have to give me any sex for the relationship to work. So I'm like, I totally agree. And like I said, like you just said, it is highly simplified. But how many times has a woman highly simplified us? So it's just like, here's some castor oil for you. See how it tastes, because that's the only thing y'all do for us as a reward, and it's not really that good to start with by and large. Because again, if you don't take it seriously, you're probably not very good at it. Because all you really have to do is give me the allure of having sex, and then actually you can still weaponize it too.
In the most simplistic form of like reasoning, in Western culture, in our modern society, women typically are okay with being some form of a prostitute. And I'm not saying that in a demeaning way. I'm just saying there's all these different things that guys are supposed to do to be worthy of penetration, and it makes it very transactional. And when you're doing sex for a transaction, there's no other way to put it other than prostitution. Because I rarely hear a woman say, hey, you got to be a really, really caring and nurturing person. You've got to make me laugh. You've got to make me feel comfortable. No, it's usually about stability, money. It's usually in the context of transaction. Now, once again, I know that was a dangerous thing I said by making it seem like I'm thinking all women are prostitutes. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in the framework in which we societally talk about relationships between men and women, it sounds very prostitution based. It sounds based on, he has to have all these things and provide these things for me to have sex, which basically is the equivalent of put the shit on the dresser. Put the money on the table. Like, sign the contract here first. Now you can have sex. Now, if I don't think the funds are worthy, or if I decide to raise the price, there's nothing you can do about it. Like you said, I don't have to have sex with you. Even though you already paid me, you know what? I renege on that, and there's nothing you could do on it.
Do you renege when it's not really in the contract to start with?
Exactly. It's a no nuptial.
You are not wrong, sir.
It's not even a prenup. It's a no nuptial.
Exactly. Because when I heard that, I was blown away. I never thought about it in basic, I was like, wow, that's kind of true. Again, certainly oversimplified, and I don't know.
Very simplified, yeah, very simplified. And like I said, I know it's a very dangerous statement I made. I'm not calling all women prostitutes. What I was saying is, based on how, especially on all these fucking social media platforms where men and women are arguing about men being the problem or the women being the problem. Basically, it's just arguing over what form of prostitution is acceptable for this person speaking.
Truth. Well, you're not wrong, man, because again, I don't know a whole lot of male-female relationships that are not transactional at some level. Now, again, oversimplification, because certainly, my relationship is not transactional, but it is. It is. There are certain things I need to do, whatever it is, but that's not how it was built. So I kind of hate social media for making it seem like all women are this way, because they're not even close.
Yeah, I was just about to say, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, look, this is a broad, I'm talking about how we talk about it, not how it actually is.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. But I will say almost 100% of the women that do talk like that aren't worth your time.
Yeah. And they are prostitutes.
Truth. So
like,
yeah.
I won't fold on that. When a woman says you got to make 6 figures and you're a prostitute.
Agreed.
And if I call you a hoe, don't be disrespected. I'm just basically saying what you are.
Agreed.
It's like you getting mad at me calling my female dog a bitch. Look, I'm just saying what she is.
Exactly.
Just saying what she is.
Couldn't agree more. All right, number 3.
What do you think the greatest threat is to the church in our generation?
It's pastors. Honestly. The pastors. Anywhere, God has given 3 offices, I believe, to the church. Evangelist, pastor, and teacher. Wherever you see a weak church, you see these weak men. Either they're non-existent, they're unbiblical, or they're unconverted. And all this talk about the judgment on our country because of its immoralities and everything else, never forget, judgment always begins with the household of God. And I am astounded at the lack of the fear of the Lord and the lack of biblical knowledge among those who would call themselves the ministers of Christ.
My first thought on this was, I can't believe a pastor said that kind of truth. Because that's absolutely true. Now, I am not absolving any congregate that's backsliding or out there tripping or using God as a weapon. I'm not saying that that doesn't happen. But I'm also saying that this does too. It's not a very popular thing to say, but it's absolutely true. So what's your take on this?
I mean, I kind of agree with you. For a pastor to be saying that, that's kind of wild and true. But it's funny when the question was phrased before he answered it. I actually wasn't thinking the pastors. I was thinking the greatest threat to the church is the church. And what I mean by that is the people within the church. Because I don't hate to use my grandma's church as an example, because I will gladly use my grandma's church as an example. Because when I was younger, and I remember specifically being 16, 17, and having a real conversation with my grandma, which is one of the first adult conversations I felt like I was ever having with my grandma. And I said, Grandma, have you realized that I am the last generation of young people in your church? And she said, well, what do you mean? And I said, because they're little kids in the church, but then there's a gap between the little kids who ain't got no effing choice but to be here. And then there's a 20-year gap, because there was nobody in the church at the time around my age. It was you were either 6 or 7 or you were 30 something. And I was like, this is a problem. And she was like, well, what do you mean? And I was like, the church is so judgmental and so unwilling to do the things that are required, which is, meet the people where they are, open arms, show love. None of that was happening. It was my grandma's church was a place where old folk talked about how bad young folk were. And that was the end of the conversation. It wasn't talking about how young folk have gone awry and how can we reach them, or how can we teach them, how can we show them, that there's more things out there. No, it was all about y'all's generation is terrible and y'all all going to hell, and the conversation ended. So I always felt like the greatest threat to my grandma's church was her own church. And now this church that used to have people on the first floor, top floor used to be full. I go to there now and it's 45, 50 people in attendance. And this is the oldest Black Baptist church in the country. Not just in the area, in the country. I used to joke, it is the First Baptist Church. And I feel like they just completely got in their own way. So that was what I thought was in the way. But I mean, I don't dispute anything this pastor said. That was almost too dead on.
Yeah, because I mean, you're not wrong about what you said, but what he's saying takes it to another level, because it's well, who's leading the body of Christ that you're talking about?
Exactly.
And really, if you're the captain of the ship, I'm coming to you first. No matter what it is, I'm coming to you first. Because it's like, for me, disrespecting somebody in the name of Jesus is still disrespecting somebody. It doesn't change because you think you saved. Because if you were, I shouldn't even say that. It's just, if your relationship with God is what it should be, either you getting corrected beforehand because the Holy Spirit know you getting corrected as you're saying it, or you're getting corrected after the fact. So now you got to go back and apologize to that person. That matters. But a lot of times, fundamentals get lost. And then I feel like pride gets in the way you think you better, then it's just like, all y'all going to hell. Come on, because every generation gets that you going to hell. The bottom line is most of every generation probably will. You can't single out somebody. Come on, man. And then if you don't, like you said, if you're not meeting someone where they are, you might have missed a soul that was ready for you. So, yeah, when he said it, I was like, this dude preaching right now. Ain't nobody saying jack because a whole bunch of toes hurting right now.
I'm about to say, I know it's quiet up in that spot.
Because the dude that asked the question kind of laughed and he just stopped laughing. It's just like, bro, are you serious right now?
Like he's what they call dead ass serious. His tone was even that way.
Man, because the pastor that was saying what he said was part of a panel. So he had his peers sitting up there with him, and they was like, wow, okay. But he ain't wrong. He ain't wrong. He yeah, I had to put that one on it because I was like, wow. All right, number 4.
One of the most demonic quotes I've ever heard: happy wife, happy life. Because if she's not happy, the whole house is in turmoil. Let me walk on eggshells. Don't want to upset her, because if I upset the wife, the whole house has to suffer. Stop giving place to the devil. You can't go around blaming people. Well, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Go get on the right side. Get back in. Roll over and try it again.
My thought is that's hard. And so if it's hard from a human standpoint, it's not going to get done primarily. I mean, some people will be able to do it. Well, I shouldn't say some. A handful of people will be able to do it, but most won't. And that's in just a neutral world. But we live in a world where you tell a woman, you said, happy wife, happy life is exactly the rule. In fact, I live my life behind it. For a woman to say that, first of all, she probably lost her female card or her woman card. Because the level of hate that's probably in the comments is like higher than I care to think about. Because you're asking people that have been set up to succeed a certain way and telling them that they're failures. That's harsh for anybody to hear, especially for a woman that feels like she's entitled. So what do you think of that?
Man, she out here speaking to a sold out crowd of no fucking one. Cause ain't no woman listening to her. Ain't no woman listening to her.
Nobody?
Ain't nobody listening to that shit. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. Look, man, and this ain't even a bashing woman thing, man. Like, how many people, and I say this about like all people who have some form or some position of power, how many people in a position of power want to give it up? So why would any woman who's been brought up as that is her power to ever want to be like, you know what? It shouldn't just be about my happiness. It shouldn't be my happiness dictating the peace in this household. Ain't nobody trying to fucking hear that shit. Like, you might be right, but ain't nobody listening, baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? Look, there's a whole bunch of men out there silently clapping because we don't want to be too loud because we don't want our wives to hear us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just...
that's ironically enough.
I'm just saying, even you said, like, I dictate my life based on that. But you know, you're right. It's one of the most demonic phrases. But like, look, here's the thing: the devil's real. So I mean,
and you know what? Now that you said that, good luck trying to convince everybody else that that's actually true.
Yeah. Like, so I'm just saying, like, look, congratulations, woman. Like, you hopefully will make some random guy just beyond the measure of happy. But trust me, when shit get rough in her life, she gonna want to default back to that happy wife, happy life shit too. Because people in power don't want to just give that shit up just for the fact that it's the right thing to do. Who the fuck does shit for the right thing to do just because it's the right thing to do? That ain't a human quality. I mean, it should be. We want it to be. We think in our own heads that we are that person, but most of us just ain't that person. Like, I mean,
nobody? There's 1%, man.
I didn't say nobody. That's why I keep saying most. Okay. Most of us just ain't that person. Understood. And you're right. I try to govern my life that way too. Like, I mean, and the thing is, it's a demonic statement, yes, for the person to make. But I mean, just for us to live that way, like all right, not trying to give the game away, but most men who govern themselves that way, it's not that we don't care about your happiness. It's not that we don't ultimately want you to be happy. But that statement is a selfish statement. We don't really give a fuck about you being happy all the time. We care about having our peace as much as we can. And we realize the only way we can have semblance of peace is if that first statement is true, which is, if you're happy, I might get peace. Because everybody knows if she ain't happy, it's not the fact that she ain't happy. It's the fact that you know, as a guy, you will get no peace. There will be no peace. Because if you don't bend over backwards to accommodate and figure out why she's not happy and do everything in your power to make her happy, you are a terrible person. And you are less than a man because you can't do your one task, because you only have one job to make her happy. Nobody acknowledges the fact that this is the most impossible fucking job ever.
Because there's 100 jobs.
Yeah, it's not just one job. It's just the umbrella of one job.
That part.
It's like saying, hey, God, you only have one job. Yes, it's to keep everything in effing order. Yes, you're right. It's only one thing. It's just all the things at the same time.
Yes. You are not wrong. All right, last one.
Probably the best in the universe at over dramatic, negative affirmation. Yeah, they feel like if I can just say the most outlandish thing, that should encourage you. That should encourage you to do what you're supposed to do. Yeah. So she be like, so she was like, so you're telling me you went to school 4.5 years to be a rapper? She said, hold on. Honey, calm my dad down. Come on, see the son you've made. Yeah. So then my dad would come down and say, oh yeah, tell your father. My mom, I was like, yeah, Daddy, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I want to try to pursue music. You said what? I said, yeah, I want to pursue music. My mom, why has God forsaken me? Hey, Jesus, what have I done to deserve this type of curse? I'm like, wow. Yeah. That lasted for like years.
That story that every time Toby talks about his parents, it's effing hilarious, man.
That's the first time I was like, I listened to that and I was like, my take on it was because first of all, Nigerians talking about Nigerians is freaking hilarious. That's first of all. Second of all, are American moms any different? I mean, maybe not as harsh all the time, but are they any different necessarily?
I don't know, man.
You're okay. Let me ask you this, and this leads into the next section. But really, I know my mom has at times. She didn't live in that space, but has your mom ever shamed you into doing well?
I mean, I feel like most women in your life, their greatest motivational tactic towards you is to guilt you. That's like the greatest weapon of influence most women have over men, is to guilt you. Because my mom does that my mom tries to make me feel guilty about everything. Everything.
So you get no breaks. It's like everything.
everything, when it becomes inconvenient for my mom, it becomes something that she has to apply guilt on me for.
Wait a minute. When it becomes inconvenient?
Yes. So here's the thing. So my mom has been on her workout game for years, and she's like, hey, she's lost weight, and she's like, but now she's like, I got these knees and these stretch marks, and I didn't have any of, and she's like, I got all these stretch marks because of you. How the fuck are her stretch marks my fault? Because I get what she's trying to imply, but now my response when I was younger was like shame, because I was like, man, I mean, she did sacrifice a lot for me, but now I'm older and I'm like, ain't nobody tell you to fuck my dad. I sure didn't. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm thankful. You know what I'm saying? I'm thankful to be here. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, there was no little Mo B going, hey, you know what you should do? You should give it up to that dude. Nah, no condom needed. No condom needed. Just go ahead. Just go ahead.
Condom needed.
At no point in time did I say that, because I wasn't here. So for you to try to imply that those stretch marks are somehow my fault, no, ma'am. that was a choice that you made, and a choice that I'm thankful you made. You know what I'm saying? I'm very thankful. Preach every day. But at the end of the day, when you look in the mirror and see stretch marks, like your first thought shouldn't be like, this is my son's fault.
It's a you problem. Oh man. I can't even come behind that.
But that's crazy. My mom has tried to shame me for things before.
Okay. Cause I mean, that's kind of where I was coming from with this. It's like, don't get me wrong, the way Nigerians characterize themselves, it's hilarious, and I believe it to be true. And I have to believe the material that they're giving me. So, okay, that's the thing. But when I really, really break it down, I'm talking about, like, break it down and think about every type of person I've known in my life. I'm like, that sounds like a Jewish mom. That sounds like an Italian mom. That sounds sure enough like a black mom. And I got to give a white mom some love too. They have their own brand of shaming. So I'm like, is it really a Nigerian trait, or is it just a mama trait? And then she involved the dad, and the dad was trying to mind his business. So it's just like, and then if he don't agree with the mom, then it's a whole big thing, and that goes back to the last
again
one.
because she's gonna guilt him as well.
That part.
Like I said, it's the guilt, man. There's probably only one greater motivation of men greater than guilt, and that's sex.
Well, we can't have that either. So we already talked about all these tenets already.
That's what I'm saying. Like sex, guilt. Like those are the two things that move men.
True.
And men will try to move mountains for those two things.
We still not getting none. Oh man. Okay, that was fun. I need to do that again. Well, the next segment, oddly enough, is about our moms. And sort of moms in general, based on what you think of your mom. I'm not really sure where everybody sits with it. But on this show, we are very, very, very well aware of Mo's mom. Nice woman, but she wasn't my mom. She was his mom. I have a mom no one's met before. She's since passed, but she had a huge effect on how I look at the world. So I was like, you know what? Let's talk about women, but let's not talk about randos and not talk about wives. Let's talk about the woman who built these men that are on this show. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So this segment is called Our Founding Mothers, which again, like I said, if you have a mom in the regular sense, I don't know what everybody else's situation is, but mine, Mo's, Ruben's, you had a mom and she was influential in everything that you did, whether you knew it or not. And so the first question, I got 5 questions. So the first question is, how has your mom molded you in general?
I mean, I guess I'll say a given is my mom molded me with a sense of humor. Like I know I talk very cavalier about my mom, and a lot of things will seem like I'm constantly talking about things to like joke about, but truthfully is that's what we do. We laugh and joke about everything. But I mean, the main thing I feel like she molded me to be is like, it's a gift and a curse. Like in many ways, I'm kind of a people pleaser. The only difference between me and well, not even really a difference. Like I'm a people pleaser for those that I really care about.
Okay.
Much in the same way she is too, almost to a fault. Like it's so funny to hear my mom with my grandma now, because I mean, of course, my grandma is older and not quite as independent. And so now my mom will be at my grandma's house. Oh, this woman is driving me crazy. Why can't she just stay out the way? I told her just sit down somewhere. And I'm just looking at her going, you know, that's going to be you one day. Hey, I'm going to have to tell you to do the same thing. And she's driving herself crazy. She's like, this woman's driving me crazy. And I'm like, you're stressing yourself out trying to please this woman because you care about her, because nobody else would you care about. You'd be like, whatever, go do whatever the fuck you want to do. I don't care. But people we care about, like we I guess kind of stress out about. So I mean, I would say in the greatest sense of how she molded me was to like really, really be almost obsessed with trying to make sure the people I care about are good.
Okay, I hear that.
Good, bad, or indifferent. I mean, a lot of times it's bad because I'm constantly having to tell my mom, like, hey, you gotta take care of yourself. And I'm sure my wife probably feels the same about me. That I need to do a better job of taking care of myself before I try to take care of everybody else.
I would say, if I had to pick one thing, my mom taught me what family/loyalty is about. That was her biggest thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, she taught me a lot of things, actually. But if I had to pick one thing, it's like family. If you're married, be married. You have a mom, you have a dad, stay tight. You have cousins, you have... And when she said family, she meant all of it. She just didn't mean immediate family, but it was just like, you know. Now, for me, personally, it's just like, I have to know you. But I still have that in me where, like, Ruben is a great example of that. We grew up together. And the only reason that we grew up together based on where we lived, because Ruben is in Petersburg. I was in Chesapeake. They're like an hour and a half apart. You know, in fact, all of my cousins on my mom's side didn't live near us ever. So it's like, my mom made sure. And don't get me wrong, you know, my aunts and uncles, they all had part in all this, but that family thing, like, yo, that was deep. When my grandmother on her mom was dying, we were like up there every weekend. So she's letting me know this is what you do. When my dad's parents were in decline, and so my grandfather died of cancer, and my grandmother just was getting older. And, you know, they lived with us. And it was like, this is what you do. This is how you operate. So as I get older, those lessons become more apparent. And like caring for people matters. Not that it didn't matter when I was young, but again, as you get, I find out as I get older, I get much more, my expiration date is coming. So my perspective is changing. And so even though I don't really see a lot of people, I'm just really, really well aware that family matters. So and I think when I got married, it was a big help to me because that is my whole family. It almost begins and ends with her. So all of those lessons, all of those years, seeing those examples mattered. So that's kind of like, if I had to pick one thing, that would definitely be it. Is family/loyalty. So you know, my mom was never going to have me like saying it was okay to run the street. She'd be like, boy, you married. You don't want to be married? Don't be married. But this is not what we do. So that's who she was. Or like I said last week, it's just like, I had a bad breakup and I was into some obligations that I thought were going to, you know, be okay, but they weren't. So if you're not with somebody, that doesn't mean that you don't, you know, fulfill those obligations. I don't care how you feel. This is what we're not going to do. So again, even women that weren't going to be a part of my life, she was still teaching me, this is how we do things. This is the right way. There's only one right way. I don't care how you get there, but there's only one right way. So that would be the biggest thing that my mom left with me. So the next question would be like, how has your mom influenced how you process emotions? He start laughing. He's giggling. Come on, man.
I mean, that's a weird question for me. How has she influenced how I process emotions? She inadvertently made me awesome at internally processing my own emotions, because my mom is extremely governed by her emotions, to the point where when my mom gets emotional, that's all that matters is her emotions. So the lesson I learned early on was, hey, we can't both be out here super emotional. So many times in my life growing up, I was the adult when it came to processing emotions, and almost to a fault now. I'm just very internal about the way I process emotions. And the biggest thing is I never wanted to be like her in that sense. And it's not a dig on her. It's just, I never wanted everything in my life to be dictated based on how I felt, because it just never was healthy.
Okay.
So I kind of am this person. Like I feel everything. I'm not emotionless, but I really don't ever have actions based on emotion. Where growing up, I felt like a lot of her actions were based on emotions. Some made me upset. Some are stories I can laugh about now, because I mean, she would be so upset with something like with my dad that she would refuse to call me by my name because she just didn't want to say the name that was upsetting her.
Wow, but true. I get it. Wow. I understand it. But
yeah,
wow.
So I mean, like, I guess how I process emotions, and I think in many ways she never wanted me to process things the way she did.
How so? Well, I should say, how did she have the mental wherewithal to say, I know I am self-aware, I don't want him to be this? I
mean, because like, all right, I remember being hurt. Like, I forgot what I was doing, but I got hurt. I was outside playing, I heard something. And of course, little 7, 8-year-old me goes home, I'm hurt, and I cry. And like, she was just so adamant about me not crying. Not because it was like the whole guys don't cry thing. It was all about, you crying ain't gonna fix it. So shut up, stop crying, and let's clean this wound. Let's get alcohol on it. You ain't gonna die. So if you're not gonna die, ain't no point in crying about it. Now, granted, I know that goes back to the whole male existence where we teach little boys that they're not allowed to have emotions, but that's not what it did for me. It didn't teach me not to have emotions. It taught me, hey, your emotions don't fix shit. So just because you're hurt, all right, cool, you hurt, you got that tear out. So now what the fuck you gonna do? And I'm big on processing things like that now. I mean, my wife hated it when my daughters cried when they were little, and I would ask Kara, you know, are you hurt? Are you sad? Are you dying? And if the answer to those was, if it was no, I'd be like, then why are you crying? like, cause it's okay to cry. I just need to know it's one of those three things. And if it's not one of those three things, then why are you crying? And granted, I know I used to get dirty looks because it's like, she's just a little girl. And it's like, yo, but it's not about whether you're a little girl or you're a little boy. It's about, yo, it's okay to have emotions. Part of processing emotions is part of growing up. It's our job as parents to teach your kids how to deal with emotions, not to teach them not to have them or to shun them for having them. It's how do you deal with them? And think about it. Like it always goes back to these sexist conversations where we talk about how single moms are terrible. I don't believe any of that. But I think the one thing that we have evidence of in our society from having so many men raised by single women is we have a lot of men who only act on emotion. And back in the day, we used to tell men that you're not allowed to act on emotion. There was no talk back in the day. Of course, there was that old masculine talk like you're not supposed to have emotion. But really, as men back in the day, you just wanted to teach men that, hey, acting emotionally is a feminine characteristic. And yes, we say that and it makes it sound like a negative thing. But no, it's just like, hey, man, between men and women, one of you two in the midst of a crisis can't be crying. One of you have to figure out what the fuck to do next. And it's a process thing. I will never be that guy that gets mad at young men for having emotion, for crying, for any of these things. But it's like, hey man, if every time you get emotional, you lash out and start yelling and have a hissy fit, hey man, that's not how you're supposed to process emotion. And my mom was really big on that. That's why, she used to make statements to me like, hey, when two men are yelling at each other, they both look like bitches. To me, that was a statement on how to process emotions as a guy. Because my mom used to say, look, if you ever feel like you need to yell at a guy, y'all should either be fighting or you should just leave. And I've governed myself like that. There's no in between.
There's no in between.
Because she was like, the idea of two men yelling at each other, she's like, that's stupid. It's just
both of y'all bitches.
She said it. She's like, when two grown men are yelling at each other, they both look like bitches. And in my eyes, when I see that today, that's the first thing I think.
Understood.
It's a lesson that'll never go away. I can honestly say, as a guy, I have never yelled at another man. Like out of anger, I've never done it. Like
never?
No, I've fought or I've left, but I've never just yelled.
I mean,
I've never been the guy yelling that I'm going to do so and so. No, I'm not going to raise my voice towards another man. It's just stupid. It's just stupid.
I just never saw it like that way. You're not wrong. She's not wrong. I never thought, and I can't say I yelled at anybody. Man, sometimes people say stuff and I'm like, you know what? You're not wrong.
Hey, my mom said that to me when I was young, man. And I was just like, all right. I mean, it never left. Like, when two grown men are yelling at each other, they both look like bitches.
Okay.
I watch reality TV and see these guys yelling at each other, and I just be like, look. And here's the thing: I'm not saying that this line of thinking is more constructive, but when I see two grown men yelling at each other, I'm like, man, would you just go ahead and hit them? Like, just go ahead and fight, man. Like, just because at least if y'all fight, y'all can maybe move past this shit or get over it. Now, granted, I know that's not the way the world works anymore, because now nobody wants to get in a fight, because nobody wants to lose a fight. So since nobody wants to lose a fight, everybody wants to take it to the next extreme and pull out a weapon. But yeah, I just wish we were living in simpler times where two dudes could just disagree and fight.
With no gun, by the way. No gun, no knife, just fisticuffs.
With no gun, just two guys disagree and fight.
Truth. I think we are the same that way for the most part. I think I got there differently. Well, I shouldn't say that. I got there with different words. Because when I was a kid, man, a girl breaking up with me was the worst. And it's just like crying over a woman, great. It's like nails on a chalkboard for my mom. And basically she's like, why are you crying over this woman? She don't cry about you. And I'm like, and I'm trying to process this hurt. And she's in my ear like, you a bitch. I mean, she didn't say that, but she kind of said that.
I could hear my mom acting like that too, though.
Yeah, and so it's like, all those years, stop your crying, it doesn't matter. Pick yourself up, keep it moving. So I'm sitting there, and don't get me wrong, people, I am not telling anybody to ascribe to this behavior. If you feel like crying, cry. But this is the situation. Because I really had to work through a lot of things, a lot of anger towards my mom for a lot of years. And I got in my mid-20s and I was like, I understand what's going on. She is who she is, warts and all, love her, but this is how I'm going to live my life. However, I do understand what she's trying to say. In certain situations, she's not wrong. So I was like, okay. So I started to grow up. Well, anyway, I'm 45 years old and she passes away. And it wasn't expected. Because I remember I was at work and I knew my mom was going in for a heart operation, but based on what everybody was saying, it should be open and shut, literally and figuratively. So, it should be a big deal, 90% success rate. So I wasn't even really worried about it. So I get a text from my dad. Usually when my mom is in the hospital, it's like, this is the room number, this is the hospital. So that's what I was expecting at some point during the day. So when he texted me and I picked up my phone, that's what I expected to see. So instead, I got a text that said, call me. And I knew then she was dead. So fast forward a week and we're at the funeral. And my only thought was, if you really want to honor your mom, if you want to be nostalgic in this moment where the wound is fresh, don't be no bitch. Don't cry. And so I sat there and I watched my dad fall apart. And I watched, everyone else is kind of like freaking out because my mom was who she was and, she was kind of a rock star, and I get that. I saw people that she worked with. I saw neighbors. I saw a lot of people. And I was like, not only did I not cry, but I didn't feel like crying. And so all of that home training, all of that stop being a bitch, all of that stop being a coward, this is not how we do things. All of those things led up to that moment. I was sitting there going, oh, well, she's dead. These things happen. We're moving on. And that's what I did. So is that better or worse? I'm not really sure. I think you have to, understand a few things. It's not going to fit in every aspect of your life. But like you, my mom was not for that weak shit or something she perceived as weak. But the irony was, before she passed away, there were some things that had happened, like, had some family members that were important to her pass away. And I remember her being upset. And I remember being pissed off at her. Like, why you crying? I mean, you better man the fuck up. Who are you right now? And I was like, bro, you can't say that. Even though I didn't say it, I was thinking in my mind. But I'm like, but that is the danger to me. In that moment, I was old enough to understand and self-aware enough to understand that be careful, what Frankenstein you're building. Because that Frankenstein will kill you. Now, again, I didn't walk up to my mom and say, like, stop crying like a bitch. But at the same time, I did think those things. And I know we're not talking about dads, but I thought that of my dad too, because my dad had always taught me, hey, this is life. Give it to God. Don't worry about it. Ain't no need to cry. Keep it moving. My dad completely fell apart. And I'm like, why are you crying? What are you doing right now? And in that moment, I could not reconcile him being a human being and losing his wife for 48 years and being what he taught me to be, which was in conjunction with what my mom was saying. And so, yeah, they kind of built a Frankenstein, but and again, I had to live a life that, you know, I had to train myself to understand that you didn't have to be this person all the time, but because you can turn yourself into something no one likes, including you. But yeah, man, we're kind of the same people in that way. My mom did not like outbursts. She didn't like yelling and screaming. She just like, look, self-control, discipline, understand what it is, keep it moving. Her thing was never let him see you sweat. Complete control all the time. So it's just like, and that's how she lived her life. So when I saw her break down, I was like, you a bitch right now. What in the world? But that was unfair. But then I'd have to say everything that she did was unfair too. And I'm not going to do that. So it was kind of weird. But like I said, I understand you completely, sir.
Hey man, as a parent, that shit's weird too, because I look at my kids and I mean, my oldest is such a combination of my mom and my wife. And those are both two people that are almost solely governed by emotion. So everything my oldest daughter does is based on feeling. And I don't know how to deal with it. And I do the worst thing possible sometimes, which is kind of just let her mom deal with it, which is the worst thing possible because you got two people who are just bouncing emotions off of the other one. And then I got my youngest daughter who's a damn emotional zombie. Like we have to drag shit out of her. And I'm like, and my wife goes, she's just like you. And I'm like, holy shit, is that what people think of me?
Yeah.
Because when I talk to her, like, I'll be like, hey, is you all right? I'm fine. I'll be like, come on, man. Like all this shit happened. I know you, I'm fine. I'm like, and she's really probably fine. But I'm just like,
But I mean, why are you struggling with yourself though? You're struggling with yourself. I mean, when I say that, I mean, when you look at her, you have to see you, right?
I do, but that's the thing, because I'm like, I see her, but I also have that I'm still a parent. So I'm just like, hey, I want to help you govern these things. And I'm like, she kind of got the shit figured out. And I'm just like, what do I do now? But I mean, she's also a child. So some of it is, I wouldn't say a facade, but some of it is she mimics me.
Right.
And I'm just like, so I'm like, hey, I know some shit's bothering you. And it's okay for shit to bother you. You just got to learn how to work through it or work past it.
Isn't that what she's doing though?
No, I'm like, I keep telling you, you don't have to ignore it and you don't have to pretend it doesn't exist.
Okay.
Because that's what sometimes I think she's doing, which is probably what I did when I was younger. I don't think I do that now. Now
I mean, give her 20 years and she'll be like you.
Exactly, but I'm trying to get her there quicker because I don't want her to take as long as I did.
That's a lot of learning, man.
It is. But I mean, look, we always want our kids to be better than us, right?
True, but I mean, you still got to let them because I mean, you had to go through some
and also,
things
there was nobody that taught me how to do it.
That's true.
I was always taught negatively. Like when my uncles would be around, it was never, hey, I know you and your mom are going through it. It was like, hey, you got to be tough so you can deal with your mom. You got to be tough so you can take care of your mom. You got to be tough. And then so I got taught that, all right, you're not allowed to feel anything.
Right.
Because her emotions are more important. And I don't want her to ever feel like she's not allowed to feel something. I want her to be like, hey, you can feel anything. It's how you deal with it.
True. Well, actually, that leads to the second question, which was, how has your mom, and you kind of answered half of it, but how has your mom, influenced your parenting and or being a husband? Which I'll leave that to you because I'm not a father, so.
Hey, the parenting thing is, like, I don't know how she's really influenced the parenting. Because in many ways, I don't know if I parent like her at all. But then again, I'm probably a lot more like her than I give myself credit for it too. I mean, because I want to do the same things that my mom did for me. Because as much as I joke about a lot of things, I think my mom was the perfect parent for me. And I feel most people probably feel that way too. I'm not saying she was perfect, but I think she was the perfect parent for me.
Right.
You know, my mom has often apologized for things that happened, or, well, I'm sorry, you didn't have this, you didn't have that. And I'm just like, I hate when you apologize, because to me, an apology from a parent once I'm an adult makes it seem like she don't think I'm the person I should be. And I'm like, wait a minute, because everything that happened then is what made me who I am now. So if you apologize for that, that means there's something about me now that bothers you, or that you're not proud of.
I mean, but do you think that she sees something that she built in you that maybe she shouldn't? I mean, because she's older and wiser. So maybe she looks at it and go, I probably shouldn't have done that. But it's too late. He's already this person.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure. Like, you know, but I always say I don't want her to apologize for being a human. I mean, because I say the one thing that my mom influenced in me as a parent more than anything was my mom was very open with me. And I knew early on in life that my mom was not a superhero, that my mom was not infallible, that my mom was not perfect. And I know that sounds crazy to be a compliment, but I think some of the biggest adults that have issues with their parents are when they find out their parents are fucking human. And I knew that early, and we could communicate. And even when I was in that, you know, rebellious teen stage, I could communicate with her. My mom gave me the freedom. She said, you can say whatever you want to me as long as you figure out how to say it respectfully, which is kind of like the oxymoron right there. It's kind of like a Jedi mind trick right there. You can say whatever you want as long as you say it respectfully. But what I think it did do, I think it made me want to grasp the English language a little bit better. It probably made my vocabulary a lot better, because I wanted to be able to say things to her that she couldn't deem as disrespectful.
That's one way to do it. Use some 3-syllable words. I understand.
Yeah, you know, I was using SAT words at like 7. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I got some shit I need to say, Mom.
I hear that.
But I mean, so yeah, man. Like, I think that's what I'm constantly saying that to my daughters. Like, you know, because I got a whole bunch of women in the house that don't get along, and I always just be like, look, your mom's a person. Like, she ain't perfect. She gonna do some things that she might have to apologize for. You can't ask her to apologize though, because you ain't got enough rank in this motherfucker. But just know that if she decides to, I mean, that's okay. And I'm constantly saying, look, I ain't perfect. I'm just doing the best I can. And that is something that I know she instilled in me. Like, I make very insensitive jokes, or jokes that some people say are, like my wife said, inappropriate. Like when I make statements like "you came out of my balls," bro. But that's something like my mom would like. My mom didn't have no birds and bees talk with me when I was younger. It was, if you get a girl pregnant, you can't live with me. Like it was.
Wait a minute. Every time you have ever said it, I'm like, ouch. You cannot live with me.
But there's an openness and honesty that my mom had with me all the time, that if anything she affected my parenting, that's what it is. There's an open and honesty that I will always have with them, even if it don't make me look good. Even you know, I'm never trying to paint myself in a positive light all the time. Like I tell my daughters all the time, I'm like, hey, y'all are cooler than I was at your age. And that's not just to boost them up. I'm like, nah, I ain't had half this shit figured out when y'all was y'all's age. Especially my youngest, because I mean, she know who she is. And I'm just like, when I was 12, I didn't know who the fuck I was. And she knows exactly who she is. And I look at my oldest, Karen, and I'm just like, you you're not afraid to try to be who you are. And at 13, I wasn't even willing to do that. I was like, man, I'm trying to be whoever somebody else thinks is cool. Because this whole being myself shit, that shit ain't working out.
It ain't work out, man. I mean,
hey, look, when you short, fat, and in Portsmouth, like that being yourself shit ain't cool, bro. Like I couldn't be myself until I hit a growth spurt, and you know,
because that's right. You grew like how many inches over a summer?
I grew like 6 inches over a summer, man. Like,
okay.
And you know, I turned into Mike Jones overnight. I was like, back then they didn't want me. And here's the thing, I ain't saying that like when I grew them 6 inches, all of a sudden all the women were on me. I'm just saying there was a woman on me. I was like, hey, that was new in itself. Like, wait,
yes.
you talking to me and it's not just because I'm funny?
Yes. I understand, sir. I am envious. I understand. So has your mom influenced, because I know my mom did, has your mom influenced the type of spouse that you chose?
Yes. And she will never admit it.
She meaning Winter or your mom?
My mom.
Okay.
Neither will ever admit it.
Why not?
Because they're too much alike.
They are?
Yeah.
Wow, I never thought that was the case.
Now, here's the thing. They're not alike in some of their thought process, but in the way they react. I mean, they're both people who 100% solely are governed by their emotions. Like good, bad, or indifferent. Like if an emotion moves them, that excuses them. That's just how they think.
Okay.
My wife can do nothing wrong in any emotional state.
Nothing?
And she's just got to the point where she'll apologize for some things. And look, I gotta take that apology how I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, it might be one of those, well, you gotta understand, I felt like this, but I'm sorry if I came, like, you know, she can't even admit that she did the thing. It's like, I'm sorry if I may have been a bit. You know, it's like, yo, come on. What? Yeah, like, don't be doing these verbal gymnastics. Like, just.
So was she just reducing it as she speaks?
Yeah, exactly.
So did your mom do that?
Fuck yeah. My mom, man, my mom won't apologize for shit she did when she was emotional.
But you just said, when she was emotional, never mind, okay.
Hell, when she ain't even got to the point where she'll admit everything she did when she was emotional. That shit she still claims I'm lying about. Like, she still claims I'm lying about. I'm just like, why would I make that up? Why is that the cool story that I want to tell people? like when you pulled a gun out on me, why would I want to just be like, yeah, you know what my mom did?
Man, you make the worst things so funny. I feel bad for laughing, but that was funny.
I'm just saying I don't look back at that moment as a negative. I look back at that moment as one of the most quotable things in my life. There are only two ways you can live in my house, my way or no way. If you ever do that again, I'll decide for you.
Wow. Your mom out here being dirty Harry, bro.
I'm just saying, but like, here's the thing. She claimed never happened. Never happened. I just made it up. And I'm just like, cool.
How do you forget that?
Like I said, cool. I just made up one of the most valuable life lessons I ever had in my life. You might as well, I'm like, you might as well take credit for it if I made it up. You should be like, yeah, I did that shit.
Bro, she pulled a gun out on you. How do you forget you did that?
In all fairness, when I say pulled a gun out on me, I don't mean she had it in her hand pointing at me. I don't want nobody to look at it that way. What I'm saying is it was on the table in front of her, sitting there in plain view with one light on behind her as if we were in a police interrogation, and she calmly asked me to sit down, called me by my full government name, said it in a real calm tone. If you ever do this again, I'll decide for you. And then she walked in the bedroom and left it on the table. Do you know how fucking gangster that is to leave the weapon that you're threatening somebody with on the fucking table?
Yeah. That's and like, I dare you.
And then the next morning, never mentioned it again. Made breakfast. There was no, I wasn't in trouble. There was no, it was nothing. It was like
no
the
restriction,
shit
no
never,
bad looks, no,
like
I'm
the
disappointed.
Shit never fucking happened.
So, I mean, in that moment where she was just she just didn't react to it. It happened. It's over. We're moving on. Where were you in your head? I know where I would have been.
I mean,
where were you?
In my head, I was waiting for what normally came when it was I was like, man, she gonna be nagging me. She gonna be fussing. She gonna be talking about all the things that I do wrong. She might wake me up in the middle of the night just to fuss at me some more. Cause that was the type of guerrilla warfare that my mom would do.
Guerrilla warfare.
I'm just saying, if you haven't lived till you get waking up at 2:30 in the morning to, and another thing.
So really, the fight was never over.
Never.
Except for the time she pulled a gun on you.
Yep.
Or actually, I'm sorry, she didn't pull a gun on you. She just placed it on the table and said,
it just happened to be in the exactly.
Okay.
Just in case any police want to be like, hey, she point. Nope. It just happened, and I didn't even know where the gun came from because I didn't know she had one. You know what I'm saying?
You don't know if it's hers or not?
Hey, look, I ain't asked no questions. At that moment, I wasn't about to be like, hey, whose gun is that? Why is it on the table? Like, look, man, because one thing that I was always really good at doing, ever since my man John hit the tree, I really learned how to shut the fuck up. Like, when somebody's fussing, I'm just gonna shut the fuck up. Cause like, look, I know I can only make things worse when I open my mouth.
So you learn how to shut the fuck up. That, you know what? That is actually really important to you. You mention that all the time.
Look, man, there is sometimes no greater gift in the world than knowing how to shut the hell up. Knowing when it's time to shut the hell up.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
More people talk themselves into bad situations than talk their way out of it.
Truth.
But if you shut the hell up, it can't get any better, but it can't get any worse either. Just like, I get mad when I watch police shows and people be in there talking. I be like, what are you doing, bro? Like, when they say you got the right to remain silent, that is it. I told my daughter Cadence when she was younger, she was big on wanting to be a police officer. I'm like, that's cool. And then she was like, the police came to my school, they were talking. I'm like, hey, hold on. First of all, lawyers talk to police. You are not a lawyer. You remember that. Lawyers talk to police.
She was just excited about the police being there, bro.
Lawyers talk to police. I'm not saying to be disrespectful to police. I'm not one of them people that's like, oh, I hate all the police. I'm not saying that. I'm simply saying I don't talk to police. Lawyers talk to police. If they ask me a direct question, if there's a direct answer I'm willing to give, I will. If not,
it has to be direct.
Yes,
it's got to be yes or no.
I don't talk in nuance, nah, man. Do you know how many people right now got hemmed up because they thought they were having a casual conversation and got a conviction?
So many.
Casual conversations can turn into convictions, man.
Exactly. And half of those people were probably innocent. So yes, you're right.
Last time I got pulled over, I was down the street from my house, man. Police officer was like, where you headed? And I was like, that way.
That way? You told us that story. That was
that way.
He said that way. He didn't give a direction. He didn't give an address. He didn't give a location.
I'm just headed down the street. Who you going? I'm going to see family. What family? The one that's down the street. And I won't trying to be an asshole. It's just like, bro, like lawyers talk to police, man.
Understood. Well, sir, I appreciate that. That went deep. I think it went deep for both of us. That was have to recall some things. So I'll let you keep talking by asking you what's on your mind.
Man, it is that magical time of year where football is just everywhere. And I never thought in my life, because I love football, man. I really love sports, but the older I get, the more I'm like, man, I really love football. But the older I get, the more I realize that, man, I can get tired of football real quick. And like today, the first full Sunday of football, I watched like NFL Red Zone for like 30 minutes, and I was just like, all right, I'm good.
You just watched Red Zone and you were good?
For like 30 minutes, and I was like, I'm good.
Okay.
It's back.
What's happening?
I don't know, man. Maybe I've just been a Raiders fan for so long that
you just gave up on life.
I mean, yeah, maybe I'm just like, Sunday football don't even excite me no more, because usually nothing positive in my life happens on Sunday football.
Nothing?
It's been a long time since anything positive has happened.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
As a Raiders fan.
They lost today. My bad.
Yeah, I saw the score. I mean, I watched a little bit. That was part of 30 minutes. I was watching Red Zone. I was just like, we were up, and then I saw Minshew fumble by himself.
What do you mean by himself?
Literally, he caught the ball, and he was trying to go throw the ball forward, and I guess it slipped out of his hand.
Okay.
And it was just something that, like, I feel like only can happen to the Raiders. And I was just like, and then I had to watch in that same 30-minute clip when he did that, they showed the highlights of the game earlier where the Saints beat the brakes off of the Carolina Panthers, and I had to watch Derek Carr throw like 4 touchdown passes in like 2 minutes. And I'm just like, yeah, that dude used to be on our team, and seems like, everybody's better once they leave an abusive relationship.
But I mean, they made it out to seem like he wasn't good enough for them.
I mean, like I said, everybody is better once they leave an abusive relationship. And
so being a Raider is toxic.
I mean, kinda. I mean, I can't. I have no evidence to say otherwise. Like, I have no adult evidence to say otherwise. Like, I might be in an abusive relationship, and you know what I'm saying, I might just not know, or I might just be scared to leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe they wouldn't hit me if I didn't make them so mad. I don't know. Like,
so you brought it on yourself?
I mean, yeah. I mean, look, man, maybe this is what I deserve. Like, maybe I just don't deserve no better.
He said, maybe that's what I deserve. Man, I mean, like our man Bomani Jones always say, man, you got to get off that narcotic, man.
Hey, look, man, see, the thing is, I got off of that narcotic because the narcotic he's talking about, I was on that when I was a real little kid because I was in Georgia. Literally, the Atlanta Falcons are the only Georgia team I don't proactively root for.
You don't?
I don't proactively root for them.
Why
no.
not? I mean, because when you were a little kid, they were kind of like, they were them. So I mean,
no, they had fun personalities. They weren't good. I mean, they had Deion Sanders. They had Deion Sanders.
Wait a minute,
you're
going back before Vic. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, no. This is when I was a little kid. They had, Deion Sanders and Andre Rison getting his house burned down, and then I was like, I'm done.
I gotta bring up bullshit.
Because that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. There was a lot of Jerry curls and house fires. That's all that was cool about the Falcons.
A lot of Jerry curls and house fires.
Yeah, MC Hammer was at the stadium. Deion Sanders was dripping. Andre Rison was getting his house burned down. And I was just like, I'm done with this shit. Bo Jackson's cool. I'm gonna be a Raiders fan.
You gonna be a Raiders? And then the hip pointer. I'm sorry.
Once again, abusive relationship, man. Every time I've ever had anything to cheer about, man. Look, man, I can go back to so many highlights of being. My fandom is dictated by the amount of abuse that team gives me. Like the Braves. I mean, as great as the Braves were when I was younger, they were always winning the pennant. But they were always getting disappointed in the end. And matter of fact, I had to watch some of my favorite baseball players beat my team. Like at the time, they were my favorite baseball players, and then they would come to beat my team.
I'm so sorry because I'm
I used to love Toronto Blue. I used to love Toronto Blue Jays players. I used to love Joe Carter, Dave Winfield, because I was a baseball player in Georgia. So anybody who was black that was a good baseball player, you was my man. And then the Braves, I'm like, hey, the Braves in the World Series, I get to see my favorite players. And then Joe Carter just said, fuck you, I'm gonna hit this home run and we gonna win. And then there was another fellow fat guy that I was a fan of, Kirby Puckett for the Minnesota Twins. And I was just like, hey man, Kirby Puckett, that's a fat black baseball player. We here now. And then he hits a home run to beat my team. I'm like, this some bullshit, man. Like, every time I like somebody, y'all gotta come disappoint the one thing I got going for me. And then I was a Hawks fan. You know what I'm saying? My favorite basketball player when I was younger. I was like, man, I love Dominique Wilkins, man. He's shit. He dunking on people and everything. He scored like 60,000 points on my dad one time in a summer league game.
In
a summer league game, because my dad told about it. He was like, hey man, Dominique was getting it to me. He was like, I was scoring for Dominique. I was like, all right, cool. And then one day we just trade Dominique Wilkins. And then we don't just trade Dominique Wilkins. We trade him to the goddamn Celtics for a player, Danny Mann? Like, all my fandom teams just proactively root against me. The Raiders got good. They got Jerry Rice, my favorite player. I'm like, oh shit, we got my favorite player in the NFL, my team now. Cool. John Gruden was there. We were winning. And then what they do, you know what? We're going to trade John Gruden to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then the next year, my team's going to make the Super Bowl. Who we lose to? Tampa Bay with John Gruden. It's like all my teams proactively abuse me, and I'm still here. Wait a minute. The only team the only team that recently has like started to be like, hey man, we rock with you is Georgia. Like, I'm just like, yo, and it took getting a motherfucker from Alabama to coach us, like a team that I loathe. Kirby Smart comes to Georgia, and I'm just like, hey man, like, it can't get no worse. And then Georgia wins, and I'm just like, and I didn't know how to act when Georgia was winning.
I remember that because we had a show the day after they won the Natty, or the week after they won the Natty, and I was like, yo, how you feel, man? He's like, it's all right.
I don't even know how to feel, man. Like, I don't even.
And you were like,
I don't even know how to deal with nice things happening, man. I don't. When the Braves won the World Series last time, like, I don't know how I feel about it, because as much as I love the Braves, I still kind of don't fucking like them for trying to move their stadium so far away from where minorities can actually go to the games.
But I mean, that has nothing to do with the players.
You're right, and which is what I said. I still feel weird about it, because it's like, hey man, at one point in time, the Braves was Atlanta's team, like, yes. For real, like they were in a distance where, you know, they used to have kids over all this. Like, Ted Turner used to pay for schools to have field trips to the Braves game. My school in Savannah, Georgia went on a field trip to the Braves game. Braves versus the Marlins when I was younger. Gary Sheffield was there because he was playing for the Marlins at the time. Like, so it used to be a thing where they was all about community. Now it's just like, nah, man, and then they wonder why we ain't got no minorities in baseball. There's a reason. It's not accessible.
I totally agree with what you're saying. It's just the way you say it makes it so sad.
Look, man, I'm not even trying to be sad. It's just like, look, man, I as a fan don't know how to deal with good things happening to my team. I'm only a good fan to bad teams. It seems like
but you have to learn how to enjoy the good times, man.
See, I would love to learn how to enjoy the good times if I had more good times to speak of.
So that's the excuse we're going with, man.
I'm just saying. I was about to say the Braves and the Georgia Bulldogs have given me like 4 or 5 really, really big moments in my adult life. But as a kid, the Braves gave me 1, and that was it for all of my fandom. Georgia didn't give me anything. The Raiders didn't give me anything. The Hawks for damn sure didn't give me anything.
I mean,
and here I am with all this shit still. I still got a Raiders hat on. I got the Raiders thing behind me. I got a Georgia Bulldogs jersey beside me. Like, I'm still here, and like, you know, it don't matter how many times my eyes black. I'm still gonna tell people I just fell down the stairs. You know what I'm saying? Every time he yells at me, I realize it's my fault. because they're really stressed out from work, and if I just didn't bother them right away, because I'm not making it any easier for them. Like I'm doing all the things that victims say within my fandom.
So if I could do better, then they wouldn't be mad, and they could do better.
Exactly. If I was a better fan, they would have better. They'd be better.
But wait a minute. What about the part that the Raiders left Oakland twice? That ain't got nothing to do with you. But they left. They left you for another woman twice.
I mean, see, here's the thing. I can't be mad at them for that because, I would leave Oakland for Vegas too if Vegas was throwing all that money at me, because Oakland damn sure won't about to help them buy no stadium.
But what about that love though?
I still got love for them. I won't in Oakland anyway. You know what I'm saying? That might have affected me. That might have affected me more deeply if I was in Oakland. But Oakland trying to gentrify everything anyway.
You're not wrong.
Hell, even the Warriors moved to San Francisco. So
you're not wrong. Oakland has nothing now.
They got more white people.
They do. Many more. More every day. Well, sir, what's on my mind is Star Trek. I decided as a Star Wars fan, I would start watching Star Trek. I want to give it a chance. I flip by it all the time on Paramount Plus. I say, you know what?
You talking about the new Star Trek?
No, the
Are you
TV
going back
show
to going TV old? Okay.
Back in the 60s. So, and actually, I've enjoyed it quite a bit. It's kind of weird in the way in which the acting is or was back in the 60s, because basically we were new to TV, so a lot of things are really exaggerated. It's really kind of crazy. Their use of stuntmen is kind of like, y'all have a lot to learn, and you did learn it, but right now that's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. However, there was one episode I was waiting for, and I didn't know that it was happening in the first season, which this episode was Khan, where he shows up.
Khan!
Yeah. And I didn't have, and I heard from my dad, because like when I was a kid, we watched Wrath of Khan. And he was saying when he was a kid, or not a kid, actually he was an adult by then almost. He was like, yeah, I remember that episode on Star Trek. I said, oh, for real? But I never sat down and watched it. So today, I actually last night I watched it. The dopest episode so far. And it really is cool. So if you're a Star Trek fan, but you haven't seen that, then you really need to see it. However, this is my draw from it. Uhura, which most people know was she was African American. Beautiful woman, had a dope job on the show. She was really doing her thing. She was in most episodes. In fact, I think she probably was in all the episodes. And so Khan had taken over the ship and was making Uhura do some stuff that she didn't really want to do, because she was loyal to Kirk and the ship and all that. So she was like playing hard. Actually, she wasn't playing at all. She was like, yeah, I ain't doing that for you, whatever. So Spock was like, yeah, go ahead, do what you gotta do, whatever it is. So she went over to the panel and she was still like, nah, bump all that. So my man slapped her. Pow. Like, oh my God, what in the world? And like my first thought was, ouch. I ain't mad at you for your loyalty, ouch. My second thought was, am I ever really gonna get away from race at all? Because the picture of an alien slapping a black woman, okay. The picture, an image, the moving pictures, whatever you want to call it, of a black man slapping a black woman, okay. Especially with that context in that situation, okay. But a white man with no rank slapping the tar out of and that pun intended, slapping the tar out of a black woman made me feel some type of way. I know I probably should have just enjoyed what it was, because like I said, this had context. But in my heart of hearts, I was like, I know what Hollywood was thinking. Y'all went too far with that. Especially in 1966. I'm like, okay, so this is her black tax for being all world on the USS Enterprise. Have this nobody rando white dude slap the crap out of her. Okay. So I don't really know how I should feel about it because I can't prove anything. But I do want to say that I did feel some type of way about that because, I mean, he reared back and slapped her across the face like, bitch, where my money? I mean, he hit her hard, and I was like, oh my, I mean, depicted as so, but he hit her hard, and I was like, wow. So yeah, that's what's on my mind, man. I just felt some type of way because, you know, black people weren't on TV for real, especially a show like that. And I just felt like that was one of those moments where somebody engineered a disrespect that you can't unsee. So that's all I had.
I mean, it's an interesting take on that because I could frame that in a different view.
Okay.
I mean, I could say, because I know vividly that episode you're talking about, and maybe this is my pro-blackness coming out, but all I thought was, of course the black person is the only one down to ride for loyalty, because everybody else was willing, they flipped quick.
They did? No, they did. It was just the one lady. The one lady did because Khan was seduced her, so she was already.
Once again, but that's what I mean. Like, you know, we had one woman, as you said, she flipped like that.
Yeah.
And then the black lady was like, nah, I'm down for my team. And I saw that as a microcosm of life. I was just like, hey, man, you're right. These white people flip on you quick. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, I'm just saying, like, how many historical moments have been made because a white person switched sides? That shit has happened since the beginning of time.
Not wrong.
A white person switching sides causes all types of turmoil.
So we just go blame everything on the white man right now. Oh, man.
So, yeah, I mean, look, I never even thought about that scene the way you did, because every time I think about that scene, I just think about the long, dramatic, Khan!
Man, I'm telling you, like I said, I haven't seen all 80 episodes.
Neither have I.
But I'm just saying that one was a good one. That one was a good one. So I've seen like 23 or 24. Yeah, that one was a good one. But anyway.
When you see Khan make another appearance later on, that's pretty good.
Oh, he comes back in the show?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, y'all, I appreciate y'all being here. Everybody that was in the comments, everybody that's listening that's not in the comments. I want to thank Mo B, because I was going to actually say we can take a vacation, but he wanted to do the show. I ain't mad at him. Ruben, wherever you are, be safe getting home, sir. And again, I want to thank everybody who was listening. Everybody who commented.
It must have been bad though. Like they must like really be stuck out there in those international territories of Florida, because I just can't see any reason why Ruben wouldn't have at least chimed in the comment or something.
Man, he tired, man.
Nah, he mourning. That's what he is.
Is that what he's doing? Mourning the loss?
Mourning the loss in an unfamiliar land out in Florida. Probably getting Floridanized right now, whatever that means. He might bring all type of unhealthy habits or people back with him.
Hey, he might have met a girl. Never know.
I mean, it's Floridian though. You gotta be careful. Once again, it's good to visit, but I keep that Florida shit in Florida.
I mean, but they leaving tomorrow though, so.
Once again, you gotta keep that Florida shit in Florida. He don't want to get stopped at the border by Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs offensive line, making sure they ain't bringing in no unhealthy imports.
I don't think he's going to be anywhere near Athens, sir. I think it'll be okay.
Hopefully. He's in Tampa, though, so, I mean, there's only so much I can imagine them getting into.
Well, you can find trouble if you want it. But anyway. But I appreciate y'all. Thank you, Mo B. Thank you to me. Thank you for my wife for putting up with this. Appreciate her all the time. But as Ruben says, what does Ruben say? What does Ruben say, Mo?
I mean, you know, he says, as always.
There you go.
as always. And as always. And peace. Like we always say.
Is it peace, love,
Oh no! First of all, you gotta say, tell an enemy, tell a friend, just tell,
that's
just
the
tell
one.
somebody.
I love that line actually. He said, They said, what does he say?
Tell a friend, tell an enemy, just tell
somebody. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna say this right. Tell a friend, tell an enemy, but just tell somebody. What else does he say?
As always.
And as always,
peace, love. Yeah, peace,
love, hair grease, soul, and deuces.
Email us at 5minutewarning19@gmail.com. And also leave comments on Facebook and Twitch. Search 5 Minute Warning. Contact us on Twitter at AG_FMW podcast, at Nugman25, at FMW 2019. Contact us on Instagram, Moby 5 Minute Warning, AG_5 Minute Warning, Nugman25. You can listen to the podcast at Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Thank you for listening. This has been another episode of
The 5 Minute Warning.